record on computer, share screen. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm on her name and her contact. These are the properties that she's looked at so far. She's asking to see a place in Sylmar, so I'm assuming it may be this one, but let me see if I can pull it up on my email. She sent me a few text messages too. So, I mean, if somebody hits you up and wants to see a place, how do you feel in terms of showing property right now? Are you comfortable with doing that, or, you know, what
Yeah,
are your thoughts?
I've got gloves and a mask, although I don't have the cleanup stuff
Okay.
necessary, because it's hard to find spray cleaner right now.
Well, definitely what we're trying to do is at least get, I think it's called the PEAD form, but it's a coronavirus addendum form that we're
Yeah,
making them sign.
I printed those and saw, yeah.
Okay, so that is a requirement that we're making them do. Let's see, showing requests. That's making me log in, of course. Let's see if there's notes, activities, listings. Property info, okay, open. So I'm just logging in, trying to look up the property she's requesting right now, just to get a little bit of info before. And usually when I get a request, I just try to, just call them right away. Right. The showing requests are the best leads we can get. They're asking it about a specific property. All right, I'm not seeing it right now. SR. There we go. Okay. So this is a property she wants to see. So 546, which is good. Just hit the market, 1 day on the market. 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, new construction, $287 a month HOA. It says no lockbox. See remarks for showing, by appointments only. Call to register you and your clients. Office is 661-498-4122, or text info to Sharon. So once this is done, you can schedule. So you have to call to register them. Estimated end of May closing. Must be pre-qualified with your preferred lender, with our preferred lender. Some photos shown are a fully upgraded model. Buyer's agent must register buyers on their first visit to receive a referral fee. Wow, 4%. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
So 4% referral. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to get them ready to go. And I'm going to try to set it up for you for an appointment. Let me see if it would probably be good for us to get a little bit more information first. So I'm going to call them up first and then call her up.
Okay.
Usually I want to get in touch with them as quickly as possible, but I want to get as much info as we can on this. So Sylmar's not too far for you in terms of setting up a showing?
Yeah, I don't even know where Sylmar is, but I can figure it out.
Yeah, it should be going out towards where is that? I'm trying to think. Like going out towards, I believe towards like Valencia, like Santa Clarita, that area. Okay. It's I want to say when you take the freeway up there, instead of going, I think it's Saugus and Sylmar. I believe that's where they're at. If I had to guess, I'd say it's about 30-40 minutes from where you're at. You're in Simi, right?
No, I'm in TO.
Oh no, you're in Thousand Oaks. Okay. Let me see. So it's showing directions. Okay, it's showing it from my house. It's 49 minutes from Camarillo.
43 from mine, just to the city.
Yeah. It's up to you. I could try to set it up with the nieces out in Simi Valley. What are your
I
thoughts?
don't mind at all. No, I'll do it.
Okay. Let me print this up. All right. So to start with, I'm going to call the agent up and you'll be able to hear the conversation. Just try to get some more details. So it says estimated end of May closing must be pre-qualified with our preferred lenders. Some photos shown are of our fully upgraded model. Buyer's agent must register buyers on their first visit to receive a referral fee of 4%. Call the sales office to register your clients. Sales office is this. Showings are by appointment only. Models and sales are open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. FHA and VA approved community. Lender is Zedro Lago, and there's an email and phone. Marketing remarks. Beautiful gated community of 125 brand new tri-level townhomes in the heart of Selmar. This home has lots of beautiful features, 1714 square feet of open living space. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that started echoing there.
I didn't hear it.
Okay. So 1714, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths with attached 2-car garage. Home features a stunning kitchen, garage. Our community has a picnic, barbecue. Okay, close to the 210. It's perfect for anyone who commutes. Easy bus stop. Okay, so she wants to see it. It's just hit. But I don't want her to start finding this on her own either. So let me call this up first, see what I can find out about registering.
Sounds good. I'll stand right here.
Yeah, no problem. So 818-698-4122.
Thank you for calling Williams Homes, Navarro West, and Silmer. Our sales office is open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., but due to COVID-19 recommendations, we encourage you to call and make an appointment before you visit our community. We are doing our part in following health guidelines such as social distancing.
Skip, what's your phone number?
If you are one of our
805-469-7547.
Can you say that again?
805-469-7547. The last 7 spell house, Skip.
7547?
7547, yes, sir.
Hi, just calling about your new community. We have a client that's interested in checking it out and trying to set up an appointment to see your models and what's available. My name is Brandon Ramey with Veteran Home Services. My cell is 805-815-1327. My colleague, my business partner, Skip Hawkins, is with Century 21 Everest. His phone number is 805-469-7547. Skip will be the one that will be meeting you and the client at the property. Again, 805-469-7547. If you could reach out to Skip and set up the appointment, that would be great. And we will be in touch. We're looking forward to hearing back from you so that we can reach out and coordinate the showing. Thank you.
Sounds good.
All right. So create new.
Yeah. My tax lady's on Foothill, but I think that's in a different part of town.
Okay. So you're somewhat familiar with the area there?
I've got GPS. I'm familiar with just about everything.
That's
if
right.
I can figure out how to get on it,
Yeah, and these are called, it's Tovara West. It's a beautiful gated community, 125 brand new tri-level townhomes.
They only have 13 pictures.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call her up and at least start talking to her about it and try to set up the appointment. Let them know it's just very strict with the whole COVID-19, and see what I can find out from her. And then I'll let her know that once we hear back from the community, that we'll arrange the showing with her.
Yeah, you know, I could always go down there and take pictures because they only have 13 on the MLS page. And
Right.
some of those, I'll bet they're all models.
Okay. I'm wondering if it's better if we wait. You know what? Let's well, she's just eager to try to get a hold of somebody to set that up. I just need to let her know in terms of setting up the showing. So, all right, I'll
Sure.
call her up right now.
Okay. If she's fearful, I'll be glad to go take pictures.
Please leave your message for 32328668626. Sorry, mailbox is full.
And then she sends me to voicemail. That's funny. I hope no,
Try
she
and text it.
what's
It might
that?
not be a, try and text it. It might be a cell number.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna hold off right now because I'd rather hear back from them anyways. But it's just interesting because she's
Okay.
tried to call me. She called me at 10:07 and then called again at 10:40. She sent me 2 texts and emails, but I'm gonna wait until I hear from them just so I can say specifically we can set this up. Right now, I have to say that I'm waiting to hear back. And what I don't want her to do is once she realizes it's new construction, to just go out on her own and not feel she needs to be associated with us. So
Understood.
I need to try to get her to agree to register with us, you know, and we'll set this up for her as if she needs us, you know, to set this up.
Understood.
So we'll see. William Holmes. So you get all different types in terms of request on here, but the showing request, that's almost as good as like paying for a Zillow lead where they click on a property and then, you know, it's the same thing. They're like, oh, I thought you were the listing agent, you know? So you got to practice being able to handle those types of objections. Let me drop off the share screen now. Were you able to at least take down the listing number for this and the address so you can pull it up on yours?
Yeah, I'm looking at it on MLS.
Okay,
No, I'm
perfect.
not. Hold on. Where was I?
Yeah, no, you're on my screen share. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if you
12
could,
Yeah, I'm on there. I'm on that page on the MLS.
okay, perfect. Cool. All right. So I sent you the script, I believe, or the process. I don't know if I
Yes.
sent you a script yet. I can try to see if I have something on here. But what we should do is just get into starting to make some calls and kind of, you know, the gist of what typically happens. So were you able to log into the Pro Agent website yet?
Yes, I'm in it. It's
Okay.
the contact manager.
Okay. So let me, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assign this lead to you.
Okay.
So it should pop up on your end. And then I can kind of walk you through what we do here.
Okay, I just got it on my phone. So,
Okay.
oh, it doesn't come. It comes in the mail. It doesn't come to this website, huh?
It does come to the website. You got to refresh it.
Okay, understood.
So on the top, when you go up,
I got it. Brooks
yeah.
Amy.
Yep. So it's I think her name's Amy Brooks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's
Okay, she's calling back right now. So let me get this
Wait,
real
wait.
quick.
Sure. Please do.
Okay.
She's in a hurry.
Hello, Amy.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Oh, hanging in there, you know,
Right.
as well as I can.
I know it's a little bit crazy out there right now. We actually had some friends visiting. I apologize I couldn't pick up earlier, and then I had a Zoom meeting that I was actually running late for, so I had to hop back on that. But yeah, just wanted to reach out to you. I saw a showing request. It looks like, is that for 12740 Watt Lane?
Yeah, let me see what that is. That's the
The new construction.
townhouse in To the townhouse in Fillmore, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah, let me look at the address, make sure I'm doing the right one.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, Tavara West. Is
Right.
that right?
Yes.
Yeah. How are those? Have you seen them?
I haven't. This one actually just hit too. So it's new out there. I have a team that I work with. I used to manage a Century 21 Everest office in Wood Ranch, and we, done a decent amount of business throughout the area. So I actually have a gentleman by the name of Skip Hawkins, who has even offered to go out and take some pictures out there, depending on what they allow us to do. So basically, the showing remarks are telling us. Only by appointment only. It's pretty strict
Okay.
right now with the whole COVID-19. So they're likely going to have you sign a waiver. We have to do that with our clients. So most of the listing agents right now, and I guess, to start with, how familiar are you with the process? I guess even before this whole COVID-19, have you been looking for some time, or where are you at in your search process?
I was looking, and then I stopped.
Okay.
We were in Porter Ranch, and
Uh-huh.
then there's just a lot of things that happened. The fires happened,
Right.
and we got evacuated, and then we just took some time off, and then I started briefly looking, and then this started trickling, the COVID, and we kind of stopped. So
Right.
I've just been kind of like, let me just, take a beat. But now, I was looking, I was like, well, if I see something that's really interesting,
Right.
I'd love to possibly take a look. I'm close on my, I've been pre-approved and all of that, so that's good.
Good.
And this is definitely the price range. I can go up to 6.
Okay.
I'd like to go up to 6. I don't want to go over, but
Right.
and the area, I don't know Fillmore that well,
Uh-huh.
but I've been there, so
Right.
I'm kind of slightly loosely familiar with that, where it is. I've never physically spent a lot of time there, though.
Right. Yeah, and it's and the office I managed was Wood Ranch out in West Simi. So we actually did a few visits out towards Porter Ranch, their new construction out there. Out towards the Silmar area. I personally, don't specialize in the Silmar area, so I just want to be upfront with you on that. And it's but I have a few top producers that were in the office that I managed that know a lot about the area. So I can always reach out to them and kind of get just an idea in terms of schools, neighborhoods that are a little bit better. I mean, this is a gated community. Whenever you're in a gated community, at least if it's questionable in terms of the area, that's always a huge plus, if that's what you're looking for.
Right. Is it a bad area? Are the areas a little
Not that I've heard of personally, but it's always good still to know, just from somebody who's local, who specializes in that area specifically, what areas are better or worse, so so those are the things, and I just want to be upfront with you, and not try to pretend like, oh yeah, I know Silmer really well. I know there's quite a bit that's happening in that area, and then going out towards Santa Clarita, we actually have an Everest office out there as well.
Well, that's where I really wanted to look. That's where I was originally looking.
Is Santa Clarita? Okay.
That's where I wanted. Yeah, because my daughter's father and I, we split, and
Sorry to hear that.
not to get into the personal business,
Right.
but the point of it is that he bought a home in Stevenson's Ranch,
Okay.
and I'm looking for a condo. That's what or a townhome. Townhome is preferably what I want, unless it's a really, great little home.
Right.
So in that area would be
Ideal.
more ideal.
Okay.
But I just looking at the pictures of the Silmar property, it wasn't horrible. And when they say gated, does that just mean you would just have a code, or is there like we lived in the Heights in Porter Ranch, and there was a door, like not a doorman, but a security guard.
Right.
Is there a guard, or is it just?
It doesn't say it right now. It looks like it's just gated. It doesn't say security gated. I'm trying to look at security safety. Yeah, I don't see anything about a guard out front. Not from the agent details, but again, I can get a little bit more of that info for you as well once I hear back. So I left a message with the gal that sets up the appointments there, and they always Again, that's why I wasn't sure just in terms of how much you've looked or have done it. Do you, well, I guess to start with, do you have
Well, I haven't done, I haven't done anything since this whole,
COVID-19?
since this whole, yeah,
Right.
since the virus hit. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And it's, I mean, are you like under contract with an agent, or are you working with an
No,
agent? Okay.
no. I was loosely working with an agent before all of this happened, but
Right.
I'm not married to any situation right now.
Okay.
I really just, I mean, I just was randomly looking, and
Right.
this morning I'm gonna really hit it hard and get on board with one agent, and then after all this, once the shelter in place was lifted. But
Right.
when I saw this, I just said, oh, let me just maybe loosely take a look, and maybe, maybe.
Right.
So
No, absolutely. And now, I mean, now's a good time to see what's happening because it's an interesting market out there. So, just if you don't mind, if I can share, uh, we've helped. Well, I've been in the business now 16 years, and what I do a lot of times with our clients as we're starting our home search is we used to meet in person, right? Do a buyer consultation and just get a real good feel for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Know that as well as talk about the market, and with the market being where it's at right now, I think it's critical to just know the ins and outs of it, know how you're protected by the contract, how you can negotiate, what programs are out there. I know you've been
yeah, tell me about those programs. What
yeah.
you're talking about.
Well, there's down payment assistance programs that are available, and then typically it's for
Yeah.
first-time buyers. But you mentioned that you just recently had a separation. Is it final? I mean, are
Well, let me be
sure. I didn't mean to get into that, right? But it's
clear.
but go ahead.
Well, I mean, we weren't technically married, so
Okay.
no, yeah.
So,
But what is there a program for that?
well, there is
'Cause
actually.
I love programs.
Right. There is a program. If basically, so is this your first purchase or have you purchased in the past?
I purchased many, many years, almost like 20 years ago.
Okay.
So
So
it's kind of like my first purchase.
more than 3 years ago, you qualify for the first time home buyer program. So,
Yeah.
so there are different various programs that are out there. There are some that if, depending on where you're at income wise, they have some that if you qualify under the 80% area median income, which it can start getting a little complicated to understand how that works. But if you were a
Mhm.
household size of 4, roughly, I believe that's around 85,000 or less, there's more assistance that's available for first-time home buyers. But now, if you're
Okay.
over that amount, and again, it's based on household size, so I don't know if you would, you know, uh, basically qualify as they're trying to qualify. So you have your qualifying amounts, which you've already done, which is great. So to qualify to know you can buy up to 600 is awesome. And my guess is your income's probably higher than that if you can do all that, depending on how much money you have to put down. Um,
Right.
that all those factors vary in, but then there's moderate income programs out there too. So CalHFA is one of those programs that is an awesome program for moderate income, and they bump that limit almost up to, I want to say, like 180 or 190,000 for a
Mm.
household, which is huge. So what that is um, it was even better before. It's still decent now, but you have to look at everything because sometimes people will just focus on the interest rates. Others, like for these down payment assistance, the rates are usually a little bit higher, but the advantage to them is they're giving you money, sometimes forgivable money, that you will actually be forgiven after 5 years. So the programs for the
Okay.
80% below AMI, those actually have up to, in 5 years, you get, right now they match you 4 to 1. So if you came in with $5,500, they would come in with 22,000, and after five
Oh,
years, that money's forgiven.
wow.
Yeah. So
And what is that? And that's the first time buyers?
that's a first time buyer program. So I actually just did an interview recently, and I formed a private Facebook group that is actually just for real estate agents in our industry because we're trying to keep everybody connected. I've done a lot of
Right.
coaching and training within just Ventura County, LA County, and so I got about 110 agents on there. So we share information. I do interviews. I did one. I used to work for a nonprofit that basically did these down payment assistance programs. That's when I got very well versed in it. Um, I was in the business for about 10 years, had no idea a lot of this even existed. And many times a lot of loan officers and agents don't really push it because, to be honest, it's a lot of work. Not every seller is gung-ho about helping somebody with down payment assistance. So you want to know if you know, do you know if you're FHA conventional on the loan that you're already pre-approved?
You mean for like a 3% down or
Yeah.
something like that, or?
Yeah, for.
I have to check with my gal, but I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so right now it's 3% down.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Roughly about 3% down is what you're looking at with the program.
Well, that's if now we didn't do. I get so confused.
That's okay.
The program is separate. What you're talking about, this first-time buyers program, is that separate than the loan you're getting approved for?
It's still a loan. It's a different type of financing. So that, and this is part of what I do in that first meeting. And if you're open to, I'd be more than happy. We can set it up, a few days, a week from now. I mean, it's my schedule is actually a little busier than I anticipated it to be this week, but I do have some availability slots. And what we do is for 30 minutes or so, I can talk about the different programs as well as how to best set yourself up, because there's so many different aspects of this. One is knowing the market. The other is knowing an agent who knows how to communicate and negotiate on your behalf. And then how to represent you in the best light possible. So you need somebody who does a lot of work up front. So we don't just typically just go out and start showing property. We want to sit down and know, okay, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. It's what I'm trying to do. This is what my situation is. Now, how do we best approach that? And then we game plan it. And then if you tell me, okay, Santa Clarita is the area that I want to focus on, then what we'll do is sometimes on our first showing, we'll show 4 different properties, different areas, different neighborhoods. It's not likely you'll write on any of those, but what it does is it gives us a feel of, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Now, once we know that, now the next time we show property, we save everybody's time. We're much more efficient, straight to it. So we do more work up front. And regardless out of all this, you're going to have some good information that I guarantee is going to help you with this process. So that's the advantage of doing that up front. And then you get a feel for, okay, do I like the way that they work or not? And if you don't, that's fine too. But at least now you're going to have some, more tools in your belt. You'll have a little bit of a different perspective and understanding of the process. Now, ultimately, you may find out about something, just like I said, I did that interview with the down payment assistance. They actually are coming into more money. So right now, the 22, it's a 4-to-1 match. You come in with 5,500, they match 22,000. That's forgiven. 20% is forgiven each year for people who qualify, and they got to fit in those parameters. Now it's tough because you got to be under that 80% AMI. And my guess, unless you're putting a lot of money down, your income's probably is your income, if it's okay if I ask, is it over the 85,000 a year for the last 3 years?
Well, it can be.
Okay. Well, you want to be less than that, depending on, and what they're gonna do is they're actually gonna pull up your taxes. So they're gonna see how you filed your taxes for the last 3 years. Number one, they want to make sure qualifying. That what have you been claiming on your taxes? 2, they're going to check to see, okay, have you written off any interest on a property? And if it's been more than 20 years, then you haven't. So you do qualify as the first time buyer. Now it's just seeing income if that works out. So that's an option. So
basically for the last 3 years, you have to have made less than 85,000.
Well, they average it out. So they average it, but again, that's a household size of 4. If it was just you and your daughter that you're showing there, it's a household size of 2. It's even less than that. It's all based on your size, your household. So, and I don't have that exact number in front of me. That would be my guy, Alex Vega, who I worked with at BCCDC. So in this program, even if it's not something that fits for you, but somebody else that could benefit from this, you want to tell them about it, because this is money that's forgiven. There's no interest on it. It's just grant money that's by the state that's actually allocated to BCCDC because they're what's called a CDFI, which is designated by the U.S. Treasurer. So they get money, and they get money allocated to them. And that's what they've done since, I want to say, about 2006. They're just very well versed. That's their wheelhouse. They're all paid salaries. They don't get any benefit by doing more or less of these. There's a lot of work that's involved, and that's why you don't hear most people pushing it. Now, the CalHFA product I was telling you, that was the moderate income that goes up to 190. That program, it is likely that your loan officer that you're already currently working with, not every loan officer has access to it, but many more have access to that. And that one, it's not as much. You're not getting that forgivable money, but what they have is, and this is why my other loan officer, his name's Jason Haroldson, he's the guy who I recently worked with. When I refied my place, when I bought our place a couple years ago, he's who I worked with. He's pretty much my go-to guy, knows all the different various programs inside and out. He worked on the underwriting side, the processing side, so he knows how to package and he knows what products are available. So he'll say, okay, well, in this situation, conventional is the best way to go. Then he'll say, in this one, it's actually the CalHFA down payment assistance is the best way to go. The rate will be a little bit higher, but then you're getting up to $10,000. That's on a 3% simple interest, meaning that you're not paying. It's not compound interest. So compound interest is what most interest rates are. Simple interest is just like a flat 3%. So if it was $30,000, that'd be $900 a year in interest, but you're not actually even paying that with your payment. So you could either pay it when you sell the house or refinance the house. The biggest requirement is that you're a first-time buyer, that you intend to occupy the property. Your income limit's about up to that $190,000, and you can get up to 10. Now, there are certain people that actually, teachers, public service, people who work in public service, where there's still, I believe, go up to, I heard 4%. So 4% of whatever the price is. So if it's $500,000, that's $20K that they can help you with assistance. It brings down your mortgage insurance just a little bit. So your rate goes up just a bit, but your mortgage insurance that you're paying out drops down a little bit. So you just have to, it's all case by case of seeing what the best fit is for you, but it's good to be aware of it to start with, right? To know what's out there.
And is there a limit on the home with these programs? Is there a limit on the amount of the home?
Great question. So, so with the CalHFA, and you want to speak with him specifically, but I know that we've helped people out purchase in the, roughly 500,000 to 600,000 range. And again, it comes to what your qualifying amount is. So, there can be an amount. It's not, so there are no limits when you resell the property either, which is nice. So you get to get all the certain like affordable properties. When you buy them, you get them at a low price, but then you have to sell them as an affordable property. So you don't make much equity. It'll bring your payment down, but you don't make much. But what I'm telling you about the CalHFA, you buy it like a regular house. It's a different type of loan product. So when you buy that house, you can sell it to anybody. So you get to realize all the equity in the property. They just help you with some down payment assistance. Actually, the family that just visited, that stopped by earlier, they took advantage of this down payment assistance on their first purchase. So they had $5,000 out of pocket. They bought a property in Oxnard, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. At that time, I think it was like 333,000, $400 HOA. Their total payment was about $2,600 a month. They only had 5 out of pocket, and they bought a house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo townhouse type setup, single story actually, and it had a 2-car garage. We sold it. They made about $50,000 in equity 2 years later. Took that $50K, put it into their next house that they bought up the street from us in Central Camarillo. I live in Camarillo. They bought a few streets up from us at $600K. He was making more income at that time, and it all worked out. So it's great to help people with that first property. If I knew about it early on, you okay?
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it's good to know what your options are. So again, if you'd like to do it, I'm more than happy. I can send you a Zoom invite. You just let me know what time works for you, what works best with your schedule, and we can talk about some of the programs, and we can talk about what's happening in the marketplace. And again, I'm not going to ask you to sign a buyer broker agreement or anything like, there's nothing that's going to say, no, you have to work with me. The way I'm second generation into the business. My dad's retired Navy, and so he's taught homebuyer workshops for almost 30 years. So I grew up watching that, and so that's kind of my approach as well. Is I love teaching, love educating, and then it empowers you so that you're equipped. And then now, when you come to the right place, you're confident that I know this. I know kind of how this game works. You know what I mean? I understand the rules of it. So now you can position yourself best. Whether it's now, whether it's 6 months or a year from now, you'll prep now and then be able to take advantage of whatever programs out there. So my friends that are taking advantage of that down payment assistance, it's actually going up to 45,000. They haven't even released that or even started talking about it. I only know because I interviewed Alex Vega recently. So 45K is the highest amount that is potentially going to be forgiven. Then they have other layered financing. And again, it's a hard product to sell to a listing agent, but at times like today and now, sellers are much more open ears than they were 2 months ago. So I had buyers that were a military buyer actually, who was getting outbid in multiple situations. And then as soon as it started getting to the stay-at-home order, we literally got his Ventura property accepted at 665. They were asking 675. In the regular market, it would have went out multiple over asking because one sold up the street at 7. We wrote 660. They countered us at 665. We got it accepted. We just got a $6,000 credit in negotiating repairs. That wouldn't have happened 6 months ago. So we got the $6,000 credit towards the roof. That our roof guy said it only needed 2-3 years and it needed to be replaced. His roof guy said 10 years. And the other agent said, look, if it wasn't this type of environment right now, we would have fought that 6,000 credit, but they know. So they were willing to give us that. So one of the best things I could, I guess, share with you since you're giving me this time.
How much did he have to put down?
He put down, he's actually VA military. So he doesn't have to put any money down. I'm trying to think if he may be putting about 20 in total. But yeah, it's not a first time homebuyer program. He's going VA, which is great with there's no mortgage insurance, low interest rate, and he locked at the right time. So the rates are also fluctuating right now too. And that's another thing that you got to be careful with. So you want to still lock at a good rate, but Jason Harrelson, who's helping them with the loan, he keeps me up to date of every single day we're talking about the loans. And he's like, look, this is the big concern of what's happening right now. So FHA is still happening, but people are pulling back. And we had a buyer who was close to closing that was in escrow since January, and she had what was called a non-QM loan. And what that means is she was going through a separation. Her name was on title. Her ex actually was late on 2 different mortgage payments. So those 60-day lates showed up when she was trying to qualify. And even though she was getting help from her mom to put money down, and she should have been conventional, and she was conventional, there's QM, which is your quality mortgage, which is your regular standards, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Most people are on those standards. She had to go non-QM, which actually would have sabotaged the deal. And we were days from closing. It was a Thursday. I get a call from Jason Harrelson, and this has never happened in my career as well as in working with Jason, where he was able to do the deal. And this isn't he probably doesn't want me sharing the story, but it's just the truth. Days before, the lender pulled out. So he had told me the day before on Wednesday, he said, I got to give you a heads up. 5 different non-QM lenders stopped funding and stopped originating. I said, what does that mean? I said, he said, what that means is, he's like, our client, she's still okay right now, but it's not looking good. Basically, because it's a higher risk, these lenders are pulling out and they're not doing the loans, and they're not even though it's been approved, everything was vetted, everything was good to go with this whole COVID-19. That's what they did first. They took out those riskier loans. So it was on Thursday. Because I protected her, she still had one way out of the contract. We had the loan out, so we were going to protect her earnest money deposit. So she was safe, but it broke my heart calling her and telling her, hey, we can't get this house that we're supposed to get. She's a single mother with 2 kids, moving out of a rough area to move into a nice house. And we had it all worked out. Everything was where it needed to be, and she had been patient. It was the sellers just dragging out the length of the escrow just for their situation. And so, it's just frustrating. We closed the week before, no problem, we're done. Because of the timing with the whole COVID-19, she was potentially not going to get her house. So I can do my part and protect on the earnest money, which was a lot. It was probably like 20. I think she had a $24,000 earnest money deposit that could have been at risk if we would have removed that final contingency. She didn't remove it, so she was good there. But the downside is she wasn't going to get her house. So then I called, luckily, I had two different people to call. I called Brian Troop, who's the owner of Troop Real Estate, who has his own mortgage company, who I still have good relationships with. Called him up. He was able to offer a hard money, but it was going to be ridiculous. It was going to be like an 8% interest rate. It was going to be it's a temporary just for her to get the house, and then a high cost to get it. So I said, Brian, thank you, but no thank you. Then I called my other buddy who recently reconnected with me. I went to high school with him. He's got money, and his family has money, and he's told me, he's like, if you ever get in a situation, call me up. I have no idea how this worked out still, because it's the only time I've done it. But he looked at all the documents, checked it out, and they do help out with private money. Didn't charge her a dime, no origination cost. Just charged her the exact same rate that Jason had for her, which was a little higher rate because she had a non-QM loan. So she was at like 5.2%, but honored the same rate, did the loan for her. She got the house. Yeah, no, I'm still, this literally just happened 2 weeks ago. So out of everything, out of all the negative stuff that's been happening, that to me is still, I'm just very grateful. And she was like, wow, you got connection. I was like, well, I didn't know if it would work out or not. I mean, ultimately it was up to them to come to that decision, but relationships are important. You know, people who know the areas are important. Negotiating on your behalf is important. And at the end of the day, when we teach these first-time homebuyer workshops, you just want to make sure whoever
Do you have to take a class? I heard there's some kind of class you have to take.
You do for the first-time homebuyer programs, you do. So if you do the Couch FA, you have to complete an 8-hour first-time homebuyer course, which you can do online for like $100. I think it's like $90 or $100. But that program, that VCCDC, you can do it for free with them. They charge $25, but they have a code so that you don't have to pay for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then and then what is
Yeah, isn't it fun? Hey, that's something you might want to look.
Or is it just, how does that work?
Well, you want to get the direct numbers from them. From what I recall, it was around a 660 was the average score that you needed to have or higher. The great thing is that since VCCDC, it stands for Ventura County Community Development Corporation. And if you want to check it out, you can go to vccdc.org. I actually got a video I'm more than happy to share with you too, and that's a long interview. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but you can go through that, listen to it. They got some great programs. So it's a HUD-approved agency, which they do foreclosure prevention. They do counseling to help with credit. They do help you save with your budget, cut down debt. They have counseling for all that. Right now they're doing Zoom meetings for it because, you know, you can't meet in person, but they still have that going. Then they have, and they're all free services. Then they have a lending department. The lending department is who does the down payment assistance. Now, and being just completely upfront with you, there's a high demand for it. They have a limited staff. It's a nonprofit. It just takes time. Sometimes it's hard just pinning them down and setting up an appointment. You know what I mean? But I just want to be upfront with you. I was their director of realty for 2 years out of law school. I went to Gonzaga Law School, graduated in 2013. When I came back, I was working for a nonprofit doing a distance externship and working with a nonprofit. I reached out to Alex Vega because I had worked with him in the past. He's the director of lending. He wanted me to be on their board of directors, so he introduced me to his boss. They actually offered me a position, created a position, and I did quite a bit with VCCDC for a couple of years. So it was a great experience. I loved serving the community and being able to help out in that way. And then I found out, it's like, wow, I can help out so many more people. I mean, there were families literally making $50,000-$60,000 a year that we were able to put into homes. And before that, I mean, it pretty much, you had to be six figures just to get entry level here in California, you know? So it was just awesome finding out about this resource. And then Alex taught me a lot on the debt to income ratios, front end, back end, how to qualify somebody. And that's where I'll ask questions now that I used to not ask. I wouldn't ask about, okay, income, where are you at? You know, have you ever had, you know, these other, like a bankruptcy, foreclosure, any of those things. Like, I wouldn't ask those questions before. Well, once they showed me the value in knowing that, now I can better help people out. So it's, you know, when people can trust and they feel they can open up to me and I can start digging deep and see where they're at, it's like, okay, that's okay. It's all right that happened. There is something that, you know, we we may have to go the FHA route now, or we have to do this. So FHA, be careful with FHA if that's the route that you plan to go. I know you mentioned 3%. There are some conventional products out there that are out there. If you can go conventional, go conventional. If you have to go FHA because of the less money down, that's okay. Just be careful. They're still going, they're still working, but the last thing I would want to happen is what happened with that non-QM buyer, where last
Right.
minute, the rug got pulled from, under. And the reason why FHA is a concern right now is actually better if I plug you with Jason Harrelson for you to talk to him about it. He can, if you think I can talk, this guy can talk. Um, he, he'll tell you a lot about it in detail, but basically there's risk if the buyer doesn't make payments because of the whole forbearance that many people are doing right now, the non-foreclosure. If somebody goes FHA and doesn't make payments, then that lender, whoever did the loan, could have to take back that loan. It's not insured for like 2 years. They could have to take it back. Any credits that were assigned that were given to the borrower, that comes back. So it's just, there's all these different things that could happen. And so what's happening is the big banks have already seen the risk and they're pulling back and like, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. So FHA is still going. People are still doing FHA loans. Just be careful with it.
It doesn't protect you in the long run, is what you're saying. If you
I'm not
run into some trouble.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it doesn't protect you. What I'm saying is the lenders, the big banks. So it's not, it gets confused. So we talk about a loan officer. The loan officer is who's really going to represent you and help package the loan. They reach out to different various lenders. So depending on who they get their money from, they're going to say, okay, lender here offers these programs. Well, those lenders, the big banks that are giving the money out, they're pulling back. That's the concern.
Oh, I see.
So
I see.
that's where you got to be careful, and that's where you got to be up to date and know just the latest. And that's why it's important to get your information, the latest information, so they can find out everything up front. Taxes becomes a big thing. Are you self-employed or do you receive a W-2?
I'm an actress. So
Oh, you're an actress. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, some days.
Well, it can be, right?
Yeah. So in terms of, what if the credit was not amazing? What if you were at, like a 600?
Well, then what I would recommend is that you speak with Jason Harrelson first. You can go through the VCCDC that I told you about, but I talked to Jason first. What he would do is when he has a credit analyzer. So once he looks at your report, he can tell you, okay, this is what you need to do. And sometimes it's cleaning it up just by reaching out to various creditors and calling them up and just saying,
it takes forever. It takes forever.
Right. But
I've worked with them. It could take like a year to get this stuff off. Yeah.
It can with some, but he's very educated in that area, and that's typically that's what I'll do with my clients is I have them reach out to him first. There are other services out there that you can pay for to try to clean it up quick, but he can do a rapid rescore once he says, okay, these are the things that need to happen. But he's really on the financial side. Jason's he's your expert. He's your guy that knows it inside and out. Alex is also very talented. He's the guy with the down payment assistance, and Jason has access to the down payment assistance. But again, it all depends on what it is you're looking for. If you think you're going to be buying closer to the 600K, my guess is if you get down payment assistance, it's going to be the CalHFA route. So that's going to be the one that, and it could be CalHFA conventional or CalHFA FHA. There's actually, it could be either or, and it sounds confusing, but the whole thing is the first time home buyer program that gives you some of that assistance. So he would be who you would want to talk to about that. If you think you're trying to go where you're going to try to be under the 80% area median income, and again, taxes, everything's got to show that on average for the last 3 years. If that's the case, and my guess is it's probably going to be for a household size of 2, somewhere around 60 to 70 ballpark. You would have to average for 3 years. If you know you're already over that, I wouldn't even waste my time looking into that route. I would stay looking at the CalHFA and the other programs that are out there for, that fit what it is that you're trying to do. But no, for the credit, you definitely want to get started on that now. And you can do a lot in a short period of time. And I know some of this stuff takes a while. Do you know the reason why the one you were saying it could take up to a year?
No, I was working with American Credit, and Let's see, I've been working with them since, I want to say January, and what are we in now? April.
Uh-huh.
It's only gone up like 10 points.
Okay.
You know, and I've been paying, so I'm just a little.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking into that. Yeah.
No, that's good, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. And what I would recommend is just a short conversation with Jason, as short as you can make it with him. But I mean, he's a wealth of information. But just talk to him about that, and he'll give you some tips. He'll tell you, okay, you want to try to keep it under 30%. Don't shut any credit cards down. Just a bunch of different things, and then he'll look based on where your rates are at as well, and try to help you do what you need to do with that. But sometimes, I know for one client, actually the one who just came by earlier today, they had to do a rapid rescore. So what that means is they weren't all the way ready yet. They were close, but they weren't all the way ready yet. We actually got our offer accepted a week into escrow. He did a rapid rescore, and then they were high enough. So that was within a week span. So I know with his credit analyzer, it tells you exactly how many points you'll go up if you take certain actions and how long it should take. So it's worth it, and there's no cost to that. That's just a conversation as well, So if you like, do you want me to send you his info after we wrap this
please
up?
text it to me. Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, so much.
I know.
So basically, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna qualify for the. But I don't know. But text me his number,
I will.
and let me know if maybe we can take a look at this somewhere.
Yeah, we'll check it out, and I'm gonna see. And like I said, because of the COVID-19, they're vetting hard, and they may ask you to speak to their loan officer. They have their preferred lender, and they may ask for that, even before they allow us to set up the showing. But if we can do it where we can set up the showing without having to go that route, that's best case scenario. I'll let you know, and then we'll set that up, and then. Like I mentioned, my colleague, his name's Skip Hawkins, great guy. He's retired Navy. He actually would be meeting you there out in Sylmore if you're comfortable with that.
Okay.
And then they do ask us to register you. Would you be comfortable with that? If we registered you there, and it's not, you wouldn't be under a buyer broker contract. It's just if you were to purchase there, so that we would get credit for showing you the place at the first visit. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, there's no.
Yeah, there's no buyer broker agreement. It's just if you go on your own for the first time, and then say a week later you're like, you know what, I do want to be represented by you, and you decided that, we wouldn't be able to go back and change it. They would say, nope, first time she came by herself, so they can't get any kind of referral credit or anything for doing that. That's if you were to buy in that Sylmore. But my hope, not that you don't buy in the Sylmore. I think, whatever's best fit for you, that's what we want. But my hope is if you're open to it, I'd love to have some time with you. Just even if we just set 30 minutes and talk a little bit more. Right now, it sounds like it's getting you prepared so you're as strong as possible, so that you can be prepared financially with your loan to get what you want to get. That sounds like the first step. But I think after that, I think it's important, if you're open to it, I'm more than happy to share as much as I can about the whole process. And if it's been about 20 years since you bought, a lot of things have changed. And I promise you, I promise you, it'll be good. And I hope this has been helpful, this conversation so far.
Yeah, it's been very helpful. Thank you.
No problem.
It's just, trying to find within that price range, Brandon, and something that, that I like. I like the layout of the Sylmore property, and I just been looking at some places in, Saugus, in Newhall, Valencia. It's so hard to find something that, doesn't look
right.
I don't know. Yeah, like a lot of them are very closed in within that price range, carpeted, small.
Right.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
I know. I know it's been challenging. My clients moved from Texas, and and just recently bought in Ventura. I know exactly what you mean. And they were trying to keep, they're like, this is $500,000. They were selling their place at 170. Sorry, my son just walked in. He's 3.
Okay. Oh, hi.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Are you doing any homeschooling?
Yep, my wife's, luckily she's has her master's in teaching, so she's doing an excellent job. They're having fun out there. Yeah, we have a 7-year-old daughter, my 3-year-old son, and an 8-month-old girl. So it's
Oh my gosh.
full house.
How do you have so much energy?
It's, if you
I'm
saw.
struggling with just my 10-year-old. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Yeah. No, it's it's been
It's a lot.
yeah, and it's been an adjustment, but it's also a blessing in many ways too, because
Yeah.
it's I've needed it to slow down some. We're always on the go, and it's been awesome. I mean, we're eating at home, we're just doing more as a family, so it's you just have to make the best out of every situation that you can,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
um
that's right. That's right.
yeah, so
And you guys are out, you said you're out in Camarillo?
yes, I live in Camarillo. We work all across Ventura County, LA County. We do go out to Saugus and out towards Newhall and those areas. So it's, and that's part of when I've structured the team, because I do a lot more of the high level, like the negotiation. So even when Skip and I, when we work together, it's worked out very well, because now I can be more available. As I mentioned, I mean, we've got our family things, but we are more available right now. When I was managing, it was very difficult. And that's actually when I formed the team, because I had 50 agents. We were ranked 31 out of 8,000 Century 21 offices. We did a high volume of production. So over the last 4 years, I oversaw roughly about 440 transactions for the last 4 years. So what the benefit to you with that is, I've seen so many things go south that I know what to prepare for before that happens. I can protect you through the process. I can make sure that we're navigating through. I've never lost an earnest money deposit in 16 years for our clients. And it's huge. So there are certain buyers agents that's all they focus on is buyers. I focus more towards listings. Lately, I'd actually say I've been about 60% buyers, 40% listings. And part of that is the shift from my role as well. From management, now I have a little bit more time, where before I couldn't help very many buyers. So I'd only work with just past clients, or referrals from past clients on the buying side. But now I'm able to do a little bit more with that. So the team has allowed me to do it. I have a transaction coordinator that stays on top of all the paperwork. My wife's also licensed. My whole family is pretty much licensed, both my parents. So we all help each other out, and just make sure that our clients get the best service possible, which is awesome. And then, but if you decide ultimately that you would like for myself to represent you, we would be, in point of contact in terms of conversations, just educating you and protecting you through the way, you know what I mean? And then negotiating the offers, calling the other agents. So that's what I did before we got on the phone, is I left a message with the new construction, but I do the same thing with the agents. So if you see a place you like, shoot me a text of the property, because some stuff's already gone. Some of it is available, but it's a multiple offer situation. So we want to hear the story of what the seller is before we ever step foot into anything. And then once we know what we're at, then we know, okay, let's check it out. And then we check it out, see what it looks like. And then we're still going to look at comps. We're still going to look at what the situation is and make sure that you get the best terms possible, in any situation. And I've just found over the years that it works very well with our clients, but it's all about communication,
Wonderful. Okay. I like the sound of that.
Awesome.
And I get the listings that you send me. I get, so that's where I found this one.
Perfect.
So Simi Valley seems to be a little more difficult. Okay. Well, I'll just let me know, keep me posted on that, and then I'll call. You said the other gentleman,
Jason. Jason Harrelson.
Jason.
Yeah, I'll send you his info. Is it okay if I give him a heads up that you'll be reaching out to him?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll give him the heads up on that, so that, and then definitely I would ask him about his credit analyzer and just what that
Yeah.
entails, and he can give you some tips there, and really just get you set up, to where you want to be. And then it's up to you. If you want to set up a time, just let me know, because I want to make sure that I can make myself available for you, what works best with your schedule. You said that you have a 10-year-old daughter, so I understand how, with the three of ours right now, how
Yeah.
time is precious, so.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So I'll call. I'll wait for Skip, or
Oh,
you'll let me know what
yeah, I will.
process is to do it.
Yes, I will. I'll reach out for that as soon as I hear back, and we'll follow up with them again. From what they're saying on there, they're saying between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. is the regular hours, but then they just brought up the COVID-19 to not just show up. And it actually says that in the remarks to set the appointment first. So I'm sure they're going to have some waiver forms. We have one, and I can send it to you. It
Okay.
goes by the PEAD. And it's the disclosure. And this is almost any listing that you want to go and visit right now, the new rule,
Mm-hmm.
because at first you weren't able to see anything before last Thursday. Then as of last
Right.
Thursday, they made it where we can check properties out. Realtors are essential again, but the owners can't be in the house. You can be with one family member in the same household and with one agent. And then you can go through the
Got it.
property. The doors have to be open. You're not supposed to touch anything. You're supposed to
Right.
wear the gloves and the mask and the booties if you have the booties for the shoes, and just have to be careful kind of going through it, check it out. Most of the time they're trying to push the video tour. So we just may get some resistance right now, even though they just changed that on Thursday. But I just want to give you as much of a heads up.
Okay.
Yeah, but when
Well, I don't have the booties. I have the mask and the gloves.
okay. I have a few here, but I need to get some more. We did 2 virtual tours just the other day for a couple listings.
Okay.
So, I use those, but I can try to see if we can get some more of those booties. It's all that stuff is in tough supply right now, so,
Yeah, I
um,
know. They
and it,
don't have it there.
they could, and it's not. That's just what they're. Again, these are best practices, what they're recommended. So I'm not saying that they won't let you in if you don't have the booties, but it's yeah, and you're not supposed to be in the car as the agent. You drive in separate vehicles. Um, these are just what they're mandating in terms of these showings. If we don't, there's a big fine that they can hit us with, as agents. So just got to be careful with that. But I can send you that
Yeah.
form too, and then. I know you're getting the listings from the website. Would you like me to run a specific search? I mean, you shared with me somewhat what you're looking for. Do you want me to set you up on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Santa Clarita. I feel like Saugus is a little too far out, but yeah. And I know there's nothing in Stevenson's Ranch for that price, but you never know.
Okay.
But yeah, Stevenson's Ranch,
Uh-huh.
Simi.
Okay.
I'm okay with Philmar, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And I mean, ideally I'd love Porter Ranch, but I know the prices are so high out there right now.
Okay. Well, you never know what could be happening over the next 6 months to a
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So it's, again, get prepared. Just kind of keep an eye on the areas. I can even go a little higher on the price point, and the only reason why I would do that, just so you can see them, and then watch them, see if some start coming down. See,
Yeah.
really just start monitoring the market. And it's and again, when it gets to the right point in time and you want to go out and see a few places, we'll just set up the time and go do that. And if I
Yeah.
can be there, I'd be more than happy to be there as well, and just help just get that better feel, so that we can all keep an eye out for you, and just know, okay, this is what you're looking for. This fits exactly what you are, and it's what you want. And I know it's tough, especially at the right price, to get something,
Yeah.
under 600K. So Stevenson Ranch, Simi Valley, Silmar, Porter Ranch. Any other areas?
I think that's about probably where I'm going to get the best bang for my buck.
Okay.
My cousin just bought a place in Corona.
Really? Of all places, right? Corona.
Don't you want to move there? Come on, Brandon.
Right?
No, that's it's far, and what is it like out there?
I haven't been to Corona. Just anything with Corona on it right now, I'm staying away from. So I'm sure you could get a great deal in Corona right now. No,
I know
it's,
the name.
I know. No, people, I mean, many of our clients are moving out of state. So people are, recently, they're moving out to Arizona. They got a great buy in Arizona. They just sold here in
Yeah.
Oxnard and, are buying out there. Idaho is another popular spot. Texas,
Ooh.
Idaho, yeah,
Yeah.
Idaho. There's been a few people that, are heading out there. Henderson, Nevada is another, so out towards
Ooh.
Vegas. So these are all popular destinations right now, and it's all based on affordability. But I would hang in and see, and that's where if we get some time to talk about the market and the cycles of it, I can share a lot with you, and I think that will also help. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to just make sure you feel good with your payment. Get on a 30-year fixed loan, and you'll be okay. Buy a property that you can afford.
Yeah.
Don't overstretch yourself, and
That's
then
what I exactly, Brandon. That's exactly what
yeah,
well, when I first moved here from New York at a graduate school and I got a big job and,
uh-huh.
I had a home in the Hollywood Hills by Running Canyon and,
Nice,
I bought it in like 2000 and
right,
I think it was 800,000.
right,
It should have been like yeah, but now it's worth God like 3 million.
right,
But it's crazy.
right,
But back then, you just don't know, and I didn't know a lot about what I was doing. I didn't have a great business manager, and so
right,
and then I had my daughter, and it was just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And so now this time moving forward, I don't ever want to get into something where, you know, God forbid I don't get a show or my show gets canceled. Or
right,
I still want to be able to keep my overhead and not overextend myself. So
right,
that's what's important for me right now,
right.
especially now that I have my daughter.
Absolutely. No, I
So
respect that 100%. And, just so you know, it's if purchasing isn't in your best interest, that's not. Our goal is to create relationships, and all our business is really by word of mouth. I have this website, and I'm grateful that it's connected us, through the website. That actually was, a buddy of mine who does a lot of training. His name's Russ Orchard. He's big in
mhm.
Utah, in the Utah market. And so he does the training out here with Everest. That's how I got connected with him. And this is, they do a lot over the website out there, short sales, foreclosures. It's big in Utah. And so he started it here in California. So there's not a whole lot of
Mm,
people that are doing, the advertising for these opportunities and things that come up. And
mhm.
so he was like, I want to partner up with you on it. It's like, sounds good. So I've done it, I've been a part of it, but in reality, almost I'd say actually all of my businesses, it's through past clients, through word of mouth, through everything there. I did this to also help out with, just other agents that I was mentoring and coaching and working with, and
Right.
it's been great for them. So I didn't really have the time, to be honest, before, but now, I'm it's been nice. So I mean, just this conversation it's got me excited to speak to more
Oh,
people. No, I mean it
yeah.
because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
there's
because
people that need
people
help,
are creative now.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Right.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
would be honored to help you out, Amy, in any way. And again, even if
Well,
it's
my name is Amy. My first name is Golden, but I
oh,
go by my middle name sometimes.
oh,
Because sometimes people are like, "Oh, Golden Rock, she's
oh.
from that show, Girlfriend." So I just have to. Sometimes I just give my middle name, but my first
Oh,
name is Golden.
okay, Golden. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you. And yeah, it's I'll get you Jason's info. Whoops, cut out. So I don't know. I lost her for a second. Hey, bud.
Hey.
Okay, I had to mute you for a second because you
Oh,
had
that's
another
fine.
phone call come in. It says hot in Corona, naval warfare analysis is in Corona. You keep
Yeah.
telling her you will help her. You just said if you would like me to represent you. Where do I get booties? Okay.
I don't have the same information that you have,
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Okay, can you mute
but
yourself?
once I find it.
Hi, Amy.
Oh, hey, I don't know what happened. Was that my
Or
phone?
or Golden. I'm not sure. I just heard hello and then it just disconnected. So I apologize
Okay,
if that was on
that's
my end.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So either or, Golden or Amy, I'm
Okay.
fine with.
Well, sounds good. Golden. That's you're the first Golden that I've met. So that's awesome. No, that's great. And
It
then
was my grandmother's name.
that's nice. And so you've been acting for how long have you been acting now?
Well, I've been doing it since I was in New York when I was in school, so gosh,
Nice.
like since 1999. So
Wow.
yeah. It's
That's
been
aw-
crazy.
that's
Yeah,
awesome. That
it's been great. But I mean, I'm also venturing into other things as well. So,
okay.
but acting has been sort of my main goal and
Right.
what I've been doing for the bulk of my career.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'm opening. Yeah. Mhm.
What are you passionate about, or what do you hope to do?
Well, of course, I mean, I love acting is my first passion, but I've been
Right.
writing and
Wow.
I'm trying to get a script sold. I also have a decor line that I'm working on,
Awesome.
some online stuff. I created a pillow line.
Wow.
So yeah, I've got some other ventures that I'm looking into that I've been trying to develop as well. Just because you need passive income, you can't just
Absolutely.
rely on. And this business is changing so much every day. My business changes. So with all the streaming channels and things like that,
Right.
there's more channels, there's more outlets, but that also means there's just more people. So
Right.
I'm trying to get into the other side of producing and writing and that kind of thing.
That's so cool. And it's and I do
Yeah.
yeah, I got a few friends that are in that. My wife actually she wanted to go that route originally and
Mm,
never saw herself um settling down, having a family and and we met each other through high school. But she then she shifted to getting her master's in teaching and I'm grateful that she did. But yeah, she originally went to Northridge, I think is a film study major, and
mm,
yeah, and did a little bit, did more like I mean, she wanted to be an actress. She did a little bit, but not a lot. Did a lot of extra stuff, and was a page I
nice.
think with Jay Leno and that kind of thing.
Good.
But yeah, fun fun stuff. She,
Well, I'm glad she took the teaching route because
yeah,
like, it's just, it's just such a weird business. And
yeah.
I have so much respect for teachers, such a
Thank you.
underrated profession, especially now when you're like home. Like for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't
Right.
know if I get it for teachers. And I come from the family of teachers. My dad was a college professor. My uncle was a college professor.
Wow.
So I come from like that level of teaching. But
Right.
I mean, I've taught a little bit, but theater and acting to kids.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't done. I just have so much respect for teachers.
That's so cool.
Like,
Well, it's our daughter's singing all the time now, and she's starting to play the guitar, and she's
that's amazing.
she's talented, very creative, very talented in a lot of things. And we actually we talked about possibly trying to get her with a singing coach, or I don't know.
Mm.
It's there. So I'm half Japanese and half white. My wife
Oh,
is
okay.
3/4 Mexican and a quarter white, but she looks Caucasian. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so our kids all have a very just unique blend and look, And
You're Asian,
I
sort of,
yeah,
yeah,
and
nice.
so even my dad was saying early on, he's like, I don't know how you don't just get them into acting. He's like, but he respected that we didn't do that, and then I'm still a little hesitant with it, because I already see her checking herself out in the mirror a little bit more than I like,
Oh,
and
yeah. I
just
got one of those.
right.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, there's no window, no mirror, nothing that doesn't get a glare. Mommy, how does this look? This is a cute outfit. I think it looks cute today. I'm like, oh no, oh
I
no.
was telling her her shorts were a little too short as we were going on our scooter ride. I said, "Hey, Emma, those are a little short." I said, "Down to the knees."
Oh yeah.
And she was just like,
Watch it.
"No, yep,
You'll start. Well, if you ever need any help in that area,
yeah,
um, I know some really great
awesome,
child managers. Commercial agents, it's a little tricky, but I can always ask my agent too for some great commercial agents. I mean, it never hurts to get them headshots and
right,
to get a commercial agent, and you go at your own pace. And if they, you know, um, if an agent, gets them some bites and
Right.
they go on a call, you take it from there and you go at your pace and you don't have to go on every audition,
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it's we'll see. You never know. She got picked
yeah.
for to be the baby Anna in or the young Anna in the Frozen play for her school. And then they did the whole COVID-19 stay at home and she just, so it's just been tough,
Oh,
but she's still practicing
yeah.
it, still singing it, knows all her lines. And I've seen how much she's got into it that it's like, all right, I don't want to keep something from her if she has a passion
Oh,
for it,
yeah.
So
You
that's
should feed it because my
yeah.
mom and dad did that to me and it backfired.
Did it?
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I went through a phase, but then
Right,
they finally, were like, okay, Golden, this is what you want to do. But
right,
yeah, it's you want her to be able to explore and let her make a choice if she doesn't want to do it, but never because.
right.
Okay. I'm not telling you what to do. I just,
No, no, I appreciate
creative
that.
children are very special kids. They're different than non-creative kids. So it's
Right.
like you just have to. I don't know. My daughter's very creative, so I was like, oh,
Yeah,
but trying to keep on the straight and narrow as well, and not go off in lofty land. I have to keep her
right.
very regimented because they can be very. But no, that's amazing. That's so great.
Yeah.
I wish you guys all the luck in that department.
Well, thank you, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you
Yeah.
offering that, and I'll
Yes.
definitely,
Tell me.
especially as I start coming through challenges and things, I may be calling Golden. What do you
You
got for
call me
this?
and don't. Yeah, I'll hook you up. Don't
All right.
worry.
I appreciate that. Well, I'll
No,
send that over to you. We're going to reach out again, and if we can set it up for you to check out the Somar properties as soon as they give us the green light, set that up for you, and then we'll find out
okay.
whatever they're requiring there. And then I'll also set you up on a search just in terms of you mentioned condos, townhouses. How many bedrooms are minimum? Um,
I would like, I know it's going to sound crazy
uh-huh.
for that price, I'd like 4
Okay.
because my mom comes and stays with us,
Uh-huh.
My brother and I split the time.
Okay.
My brother's in Connecticut, but
Okay.
she's here now.
Okay.
She's here now at my uncle's, so, but yeah, I'd like 4. And then, of course, my home office, and then Dakota, my daughter. So 4
Okay.
would be ideal.
Okay.
That's why that's so much property,
Right. If
well, I don't
that
know.
works out.
It's small though. I can tell it's super tiny,
Yeah.
even though it has 4 bedrooms.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to find on the 4 bedrooms, smaller square footage. The bedrooms are smaller. Master is typically smaller. So it's sometimes 3 with a loft can be a little bit better when you can find
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
Um,
If you find, sometimes those I've seen those too. So
yeah.
yeah, that could be interesting.
Okay, so I'll keep the search at 3 and up, and then we'll specifically look for the 4 though. When we see the 4, know that okay, those are the better ones that could be a better fit for you. And then yeah, just if you can continue to just give us the feedback, and again, if it is effective if we just set up a time that works for you, and then be
Okay.
more than happy to do Zoom. You'll see nice squirrely beard growing now, on it, but it's all
That's okay.
yeah, but it's in our home office, but it all works, and the information's the important thing, so as much as we can empower you, that's all we're trying to do here.
Thank you.
Not a
Thank you
problem,
so
Golden.
much, Brendan.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, and I'm hopeful that we can help you find what you're looking for, and guide you through this process. So I really do appreciate this call. You made my day today, Golden.
Oh my gosh. Well, vice versa. Thank
Thank you.
you. I feel like I have so much to think about and
Awesome.
so much information that can be helpful to me. So thank you.
That sounds good. All right. Well, you have a blessed
Yeah.
day, and I will get you that info. And as soon as we get more, we'll be in touch. Okay.
Okay, great.
All
Thank
right.
you.
No problem. Take care.
Okay,
Bye bye.
bye, Brendan.
She can see it. I tried to get your attention. When does she want to see it? The guy said tomorrow would be better than today.
Yeah, no, so basically, a few things with that. Thank you for hanging in there. I'm sorry it went as long as it did. It kind of turned into a first meeting, and that's so there's a few reasons why I went as long as I did with that. Can you hear me okay? It just muted you. Can you unmute? Okay. You there? Can't hear you.
How
There you
about
go.
now?
I got you now. Okay. So yeah, go ahead with your questions, and then I'll share with you why I went the route that I did with that call.
Okay, she mentioned Santa Clarita, and I tried to get on Santa Clarita on the MLS. I don't have access.
Okay. You should have Santa Clarita on there. So it's so I'm gonna try to pull it up. Worst case scenario, we send it from the website, which is good because the website will have access to all that. So yeah, any other questions that you had, or just kind of the feel why I ended up going the route that I did?
No, well, if you send her data on those loan programs, can you send it to me as well? I'd like to know at least as much as she does.
Absolutely. Let me so right now I'm gonna send this to her just so I don't drop the ball with getting her Jason's info.
Uh, Unrelated question, the website that's related to this contact manager,
Uh-huh.
can I see it? How do I see it?
Yeah, just type in VenturaCountyShortSales.com. You can do it on your phone or on another site.
VenturaShortSales.com.
Uh-huh.
Oh, why did it say that?
Yeah, but that, in my opinion, that was about a 10 out of 10 in terms of connection and trust and starting with
Yeah.
that. And that's why I spent more time with her to solidify it more than just set the appointment. I could have easily got off the phone quick, or I could have easily told her, talk to a loan officer, call me back. I could have easily just said, okay, once we find out about this Sylmore property, we'll try to set you up. But the whole goal is pre-qualification and discovery. So the more info you can get, the more value you can share, the higher likelihood you're going to make them a client. And I'd be shocked if we don't have a good chance with this one. So if you're good with it, the way I'd like to lead this one out is I'm going to still be the main point of contact with her just because we had the kind of connection we did. When we need showing help. And on the first one, if it's Silmar, it may be okay for you to just meet with her. If I can make it, I'd like to be at one of the first showings that we do together just to get the face-to-face and for her to understand how we work together as a group. Are you following me?
Yeah, yeah,
Does that sound good to you?
yeah, that's fine.
Cool. And we'll still work it the same way that we were before. I'm just going to be a little bit more involved with it. Just I don't want her to feel like she's being handed off. And I can tell there was a lot that I started sharing with her that it was piquing her interest. So, we still got a ways to go. If I can set up that one-on-one meeting with her, the Zoom meeting, that could be solid. Golden is, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Here's Jason's contact info. I got to get off on another call in about 10 minutes here too. So I'm just trying to get this all set up so I don't drop the ball with her. So I sent her Jason Harrelson's info. Do you have his info?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'm going to
Is
send
he
that
the
to
one
you.
that you did?
So Skip, so typically on this website, we're going to be sending them over to Mark Richardson. This one, because of some of the programs we were talking about, I sent it to Jason because she needs a little credit help and things. But for the most part, our go-to is going to try to get them set up with Mark Richardson for this, okay?
Okay. And he's your finance guy.
Jason is my go-to finance. Mark's also solid. Mark and I haven't worked together yet, but I know he's got a great reputation in the industry. and he's with CSMC Mortgage. The reason why we work with them as well is they're helping out with some of the costs towards these leads to give us a bigger budget so that we get more.
Okay.
So I'm going to send you Mark Richardson right now. I sent you both of those. I got to send Amy her info. Edit. She seemed like a really nice person, though, so I hope it's a
Yeah,
good
she did.
potential client.
She did indeed.
Any feedback that you have other than it was too long?
No, I'm not going to criticize the coach.
It's all good, but anything that you can see could use improvement?
No, I mean, you went on and explained a lot to her. I think she was happy.
Yeah, it seemed like she wanted more, so that's where I was trying to give her more.
Yeah. Now my website's going to look exactly like this, and I'm going to be under you at Ramey and Associates.
Correct. So you don't have your own, it's just one site. We're only working off one website. So you just have access to it. You have a login to get in so that you have your own CRM contact manager. So when I send you a lead, it just transfers over to you.
Right. Yeah, I tried to log in. And did you use Skip Sales by it?
I used the username that I sent you, and then the password, I couldn't tell if it was a capital I or a lowercase l, so I used a lowercase l.
Yeah, it stands for Tomahawk Land Attack Missile.
Okay, so it is a lowercase l then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, that's 30 years old, that now. I'm going to keep my Lion desk.
Cool. Yeah, keep that. Okay.
Where on your site do I sign in for me? On your website? Contact us, because I'm looking and I haven't seen it. I saw it once.
No, so basically, you'll log in on through the proagentwebsites.com. So you type in don't type in Ventura County short sales. That's just to look at it to see what it looks like. You want to go to the proagentwebsites.com, and that's where you're going to log in.
Oh, okay.
So just say proagentwebsites.com. You'll have that on there. I'm going to have to get off this soon because I got to get on another call here. I got this recorded, so we'll be able to rewatch it back. And, you know, if you want to put yourself through that again. As soon as I hear back from this other, if you can actually skip, if you get a chance, if you can follow up and reach out, because I only called one number. There's another number on here. Call to register your client, 661-498-4122.
Repeat it again. 661?
661-498-4122.
Okay.
Her name is, her name is Golden Amy Brooks. That's our client.
Oh, that's the one you just talked to. Yeah, I've got that.
Right. So it's just because you got to register her. So you can let them know our client's name is Golden Amy Brooks. The way they spell it, at least the way I have it on my phone, is Aimee. But I think if you put Golden Brooks, you should be fine. And it's the way it sounds, Golden, and then Brooks.
Got it.
She's fine with us registering her, which is great. That's the 4% commission if this works out.
Right.
Yeah, so I would just try to set that up. See what they're going to require in terms of the showing instructions when you can set the appointment. If she can see it today is ideal that she'd like to see it. If tomorrow is better, that's fine too. So do what works with your schedule as well on that. And hopefully in the meantime, she's getting connected with Jason Haroldson.
Okay, sounds good. I'll give her a call here in a couple minutes.
Not bad for our first day, right?
No, if you can do this every day, I might be happy.
Hey, man, you said you wanted clients, man. I can't get you 1,000, but maybe able to start with one right there.
I'll take 500. I'm not greedy.
All right, man. Well, let's just, before reaching out to her, just please check with me. I've had issues in the past with other agents that I've worked with, and it's just everybody wants to be a part of it. Everybody wants to, make sure that they're established in the relationship, and it's all fine. But just when I start connecting, just let me continue that connection and cultivating that relationship. Obviously, believe me, I want to hand this off as quickly as I can so that I could focus on other things. But at the same time, I don't want to blow it. I have something good starting with her, and I'm going to continue it. And either way, you're getting paid on this. So that's the most important thing. So you don't need to worry about that. But what we want to find out is a way that we can work together in harmony so that I can pull you in more. You can check in, you can call her and do those things where she doesn't feel she's being led one way by me and then another direction by you.
Understood and concur. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll call the guy and see what I need to set it up, and then
Cool.
I'll check with you before I call her about when.
Yeah.
Where do I get booties?
Booties, that's a good
Are
question.
they on Amazon?
Probably want to check Amazon. I need to get some more. I do got a few of them left, but I got some dirty ones too that I just used recently. But yeah, try to get some of those. Sometimes it's like health places, they have them. So like if you have a little, little doctor spot or something close by, they may have some there. That's where we've gotten them, like medical facilities or places where they sell medical supplies.
Okay. Are those open now? Is that critical?
I don't know. I'd imagine that it is, but it's if I find some somewhere, I'm gonna try to snag some too, because I was getting down to my final two.
Oh yeah, they're on Amazon. 100 pack is $10.99.
Nice. I'm gonna do that then. I'll order some too. Yeah, sounds very nice though, man. That's about as good as you get in terms of a connection. I'm telling you, I've been shut down all week. You heard the last video. It was just shut down. This one, she
Right.
needed something, so it was a completely different approach than us just reaching out to her. So yeah, that's about as good as we can hope for. But I got to get off this call now. It's great chatting with you. If you want to do this, well, if you're comfortable with the terms of the agreement, if you can sign that, so we got that locked up, and then I'll get you some more leads and you can make some calls and start having some fun.
All right, sir. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day, and I'm sure I'll talk to you a little later about what I got to do for her.
That sounds good. Yeah, we'll be in touch later today, Skip.
All right, be good.
All right.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. Bye.